Welcome to Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. We began this episode with the Yonex US Open, where Bae Wen-jang secured her first title in 11 years on home soil. The American, who plans to play until the end of this year, was made to work hard for her win by Indian youngster Tanvi Sharma on finals day. Despite her struggles at the Super 300 event, Steen Pedersen explains why this victory could fuel Bae Wen to reconsider her retirement.
I think Bae Wen-jang, she actually started out quite well in the year in Malaysia Open, where she reached the quarterfinal but had to retire against An Se-young, and perhaps that's a sign that the birth certificate is a little dated. So when you play a lot of tough matches in a row, then the body starts to complain. So you got to tailor your tournaments differently when you reach a certain age. So I think she's still, as we see in the US Open, I think she's still capable of making an impact in tournaments. I definitely think that win is a redemption from last year. She held match points against Natsuki Midaira last year and must have been devastated not getting the job done then. Now she's come back and won the tournament, and that is exactly one of these tournaments, one of these wins that can fuel the desire to sort of prolong the career a little bit extra. I know that Bae Wen-jang has said that she's going to retire after this year, but you never know. Suddenly you get a few results that sort of encourages you to keep on playing. And I mean, if she could go into 2026 without being injured, then there's suddenly only 2 years until the Olympics on home soil in Los Angeles. So who knows whether we'll see her try and make a bid for qualifying for Los Angeles. There's several things that makes Bae Wen-jang a tough competitor. She's self-funded, pays for everything herself, her travel, her hotel, practice, shuttles, everything. So that means that you have sort of like a little bit of an extra motivation, because you also reap the benefits when you do well. So that makes her an extremely strong competitor. And when she's in good shape, she is extremely steady. She makes very, very few errors. She's got a super strong basic game, and some of her sort of key competences is the cross attack from her forehand side. The sliced drop shot or sliced smash is super efficient, and then also from the front court area, the deceptive cross net shot that from her backhand side that fools a lot of opponents. But super solid, changes small things, super experienced, able to alter her tactics a little bit if needed to tailor it to the opponent. Obviously, also the birth certificate plays a role here as well. You don't get speedier when you pass the age of 30, so that's going to be a thing to watch out for, that she cannot afford to lose too much in terms of pace. It's super important, especially the spectators in the US and North America, to go and watch a player playing at this high level here. She's been in top 10 in the world. Look at the resilience she shows on court, and how she's able to play every rally with a purpose. And she never lets go. You never see Bae Wen-jang give up in the rallies. So making the most out of the skill set that you have, and really staying in there, digging into the matches and try your best. That's something that a lot of players could learn a lot from.
It was a memorable finals day for Nuntakarn and Benyapa Aimsad after claiming their first title of the year in Iowa. The sisters were among the favorites to win the Super 300 event, and they did not disappoint, winning comfortably over Chinese Taipei's Su Ya-ching and Sung Hyu-swan. This win was also Thailand's first women's double title at the Yonex US Open.
ค่ะก็จริงๆก็สำคัญทุกแต้มเลยค่ะในการแข่งขันนี้ค่ะเพราะว่ามันต้องโฟกัสทุกลูกซึ่งคู่แข่งเนี่ยก็ตีค่อนข้างเร็วค่ะแล้วก็ต้องมีสมาธิแล้วก็โฟกัสในแต่ละแต้มค่ะ
แล้วก็ช่วงแบบสุดท้ายแบบประมาณแต้มที่เราจะชนะค่ะ16 17แล้วช่วงเนี้ยเหมือนรู้สึกว่ามีความตื่นเต้นแล้วก็คือเราต้อง
จัดการกับอารมณ์
จัดการกับอารมณ์จัดการกับปัญหาที่อยู่ตรงนั้นค่ะ
It's good, and that will be the title, 21-15, and with a minimum of fuss, really, their 6th World Tour title crown, and despite being behind in both games, thoroughly deserve this Super 300 victory.
จุดที่ต้องแก้ไขในรายการต่อไปนะคะซึ่งต้นเกมค่ะช่วงต้นเกมเราค่อนข้างที่จะช้าค่ะแล้วก็เตรียมตัวช้าแล้วก็เราคาดหวังมากเกินไปเราก็เลยต้องไปแก้ไขในจุดตรงนี้ค่ะค่ะก็จริงๆแมตช์เนี้ยค่ะเป็นแมตช์แรกใช่ไหมคะแล้วก็เราที่จะนำกลับไปแก้ไขก็คือเราคิดว่าเป็นเกมรับค่ะเกมรับความเหนียวแน่นของการที่จะรับพอถ้าเรารับได้ดีอะค่ะเกมบุกมันก็จะดีขึ้นด้วยค่ะค่ะก็แมตช์นี้เป็นแมตช์แรกเลยค่ะที่เราได้เข้าชิงแล้วก็คว้าแชมป์ค่ะแล้วก็รู้สึกดีใจค่ะแล้วก็จะนำบทเรียนหรือว่าประสบการณ์ในครั้งนี้ค่ะไปแก้ไขในรายการต่อไปแล้วก็จะพยายามให้ดีขึ้นในรายการใหญ่ๆขึ้นไปอีกค่ะ
ต่อไปก็เป็นรายการแคนาดาโอเพ่นค่ะที่เราจะต้องอยากที่จะคว้าแชมป์เหมือนเดิมค่ะ
ค่ะแล้วก็แมตช์ใหญ่ๆที่เราอยากได้เลยก็คือเวิลด์แชมป์ค่ะเราจะพยายามเข้ารอบให้เร็วที่สุดแล้วก็อยากจะมีโอกาสได้ขึ้นโพเดียมเหมือนกันค่ะ
Ayush Shetty is no stranger to facing Brian Yang this year at the HSBC BWF World Tour. The 20-year-old was pushed to 3 games by the Canadian in their previous 2 meetings. However, at the US Open, the Indian shuttler sealed his win 21-18, 21-13 to secure a career-first tour title. Here's Chris Langridge with more on the finalists.
It was a really exciting men's singles final, not just from the perspective that both players are pretty young. I mean, especially Shetty at 20 years old. Shetty came out there and he was not concerned. It was a final of, it's a big tournament. Both these players is kind of a new challenge for them to play at this level. I mean, a final of a Super 300, it is big. And I think Shetty's amazing how well he moves. 6'5". I mean, he's a very tall guy, but the way he moves, you wouldn't kind of assume he's actually that big. He's obviously got a very dangerous attack. That's clear for everyone to see. I think he gets down well, his agility's good, and at that age, he's only going to get better and better. I think for Shetty, some areas that he could focus on. He is tall, he is a big guy, so getting down is more difficult than for other players. I think there was a few times where he was maybe just a little bit susceptible with body attack. So he's got fairly long arms because he's a tall guy, and obviously he's looking down the lines or looking out wide to cover in defence. And there was a few times where he did get caught, especially on the backhand side, just off his left hip. I think it'll be interesting to see, and this is something that you see a lot, when a young player maybe excels what everybody believes they should happen in a tournament in regards to this is a major win for him. It's a massive win. I think before the tournament started, Chow was obviously the big favourite for the whole tournament, and Shetty obviously not just defeated him but won the tournament. What are we going to see next? Because sometimes they start to then feel more pressure, because in that tournament, if we're honest, yes, in the final he was under pressure to win, but before that he wasn't. Nobody would have thought he could have won the tournament, but now he's in the limelight. Now people are looking at him. How will he deal with that at 20 years old? I think it's something you normally see a player kind of shine, and it's the start of something quite impressive. Or you kind of see maybe a player feeling a bit more pressure, expecting more from themselves, and then maybe asking too many questions when it doesn't quite work. For Brian, for me personally, this is huge, absolutely huge, because I'd seen him play quite a bit recently and there was just something missing. And I honestly believe it is linked with momentum, linked with confidence, linked with flow. And it is one of those things that you get into a rhythm of winning. And when you don't quite have that, and there's a few times where I think he's just slightly underperformed, and when you get in that situation, you do start to just question a lot. You question everything. You question shot selection, decision making, your own belief in yourself. And I think it looked like maybe Brian had was going down that avenue, and even in the first round it was kind of nip and tuck if he was going to get through that match, and it looked like he did get into his rhythm, his momentum, and in the quarterfinal, semi-final especially, I think that's the Brian Yang people have seen in the past, and the Brian Yang that got him to 21 in the world. So I just hope he can continue that now. That just gives him that little extra something, and especially now playing his home tournament where he's going to, hopefully for him anyway, have the crowd behind him. He's going to have that bit of confidence from last week, and we're going to see, you know, the Brian Yang everybody knows and everybody expects, because he is world class, there's no doubt about it. He's a phenomenal player, and he's still only 23. I mean, he seems a lot older than that because he's been on the tour for kind of 4 or 5 years already. I don't know if we are going to get a continuation of that, or if he is going to start to feel a bit more pressure because it is his home tournament. The crowd is going to demand something. He is, you know, the most successful male player ever from Canada. It's going to be really exciting, the Canadian Open, to watch, you know, Brian in it. And for me personally, I really hope we see a continuation of what we saw this week, because it was lovely to see him kind of back to his best.
With the US Open done, the HSBC BWF World Tour is heading to Ontario next for the Yonex Canada Open. That's where Jesper Toft and Emily Magellan lifted their first trophy last year after playing just 2 tournaments as a pair. Since that win, the world number 8s have secured 4 titles, including the European Championship, and are currently the highest-ranked mixed doubles pair in Denmark.
It started 1 year ago when my last partner, Mathias, he decided to stop playing professional badminton, and then the federation decided to put us together. So yeah, that's how it started. I was also really happy to get to play with Toft. He's a really good player, and he has a lot of potential. So yes, it was really important for me also to get a partner which I think that we play similar on court, and that we match good on court.
I was surprised because my former partnership actually started going quite well, but then being able to get such a good partner as Amalie was a really big chance for me. I think we have done it quite well so far. So I mean, yeah, I have to appreciate the decision the federation took, and yeah, now we're here.
I actually think that it went quite well in the first matches. We won the first tournament we played. I also think that since we were a new pair and nobody knew how we played, I think that it was an advantage for us. But yeah, since then people have seen some video of us, and they know how we play. So then we of course have some challenges.
For me personally, I was quite new in this game. Playing on the World Tour, Amalie has done that both in women's double and mixed double on quite a high level. For me it was totally new, so it's also my first time in Singapore and in Malaysia. There's so many things I have not experienced or participated in, so I'm on a green roll or something like that. But yeah, it just feels amazing to be able to play the best tournaments.
It was a crazy match. We didn't play that well in the first set, and not even, I think we were also behind at 11. But then I think that we just tried to play the right shuttles, because I think we were a bit tense in the whole first set and we didn't really play our game. So I think that we loosened up a bit and decided to play our game. And then it worked, and we got the second set really close, and then the third set I think we could play a bit more free and got the win there.
Absolutely incredible. It's a win for the ages for those two. What a story.
I think our speciality is our winning mentality. I think we both are quite into do what it takes to get the win in the end, and we are not afraid to lose. I think that's actually our biggest advantage, or yeah.
Jesper Toft and Emily Magellan will not be defending their title this week at the Yonex Canada Open, but there are still plenty of star names to look out for at the Super 300 event. You can monitor their progress plus other results from Ontario by downloading our BWF app Badminton for you. And as always, let us know your thoughts, comments and questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages. That's it from us. See you next week.